This video will show you how to replace your driver's side engine mount on this Toyota Corolla. This will be located along the driver's side of your engine compartment. Let's get into it. Okay friend, let's get started on our job. Once the hood's open, looking along the passenger side of the engine compartment, this is where you can find your right front engine mount. Now to start removing this, we're not starting inside of the engine compartment. You're going to find that there's one stud tucked in and behind this area that we're going to have to gain access to. I'll show you it on the brand new mount. To be able to gain access to this hardware, we're going to safely raise and support the vehicle enough so we can remove the passenger side front wheel. Once we've completed that, to remove the right front wheel, we're going to remove all 5 of our 21mm lug nuts. Now that we have the wheel out of the way, we're paying attention just in front of where our front strut is. We have a plastic panel. To remove this, there's a plastic push clip and 2 10mm headed bolts. We can remove those and we'll carefully start sliding this panel aside. We need to make our way behind there. I'm using a trim tool. You can also use a flat blade screwdriver. We essentially want to get under the center to unlock our plastic push clip. Once you have it unlocked, you can pull it out of place. A quick inspection and we'll set that aside. Onto our 2 10mm headed mounting bolts. Now we have the panel out of the way, we're going to make our way all the way up along the crank pulley, along the side of the engine, and we're looking for a 14mm mounting nut, which is attached to the stud that I had shown you on the brand new mount. We'll start bringing this up. There's that mounting nut. A quick inspection, we will be reusing this. We'll set that aside for now. Now we can pause in this area. We're going to have to apply support underneath the corner of our engine oil pan. The area on the engine oil pan that we're going to apply support is right along this corner. We never want to apply pressure anywhere near the center. That can cause an issue. Just put a small chunk of wood right in this area. We're back up in the engine compartment and we're looking at the engine mount. I'm going to start with the hardware that holds the engine mount bracket to the engine mount. You're going to find you have a 17mm bolt and a 17mm mounting nut. We'll start with the bolt and then continue on with the nut. As you start loosening the nut, you may find that the engine starts lowering on you. If that's the case, you just want to make sure you do apply upward support on the engine so it doesn't drop down too far and potentially cause any damage. See it going down, but then it stops. Now we can start removing the other portion of the engine mount from the body of the vehicle. You're going to find that there's 3 14mm headed mounting bolts, one here, here, and one just in front. Let's start removing these. Now we do have some movement, but you're going to find that you have AC lines in the way. We'll have to dislodge 2 mounting points. Up here there's a plastic clip. Go ahead and squeeze in on the locking tabs. You can use pliers if necessary, and we'll pull that plastic clip out of place. That does give us a little bit more room, but now we're going to follow this all the way up to the front. In this area, you're going to find a 10mm mounting bolt holding the bracket in place. Now we can move these around. You still want to be careful not to cause any damage as we remove the engine mount. There it is, friend. Now that we have that removed, prior to installing the brand new engine mount, we need to make sure we clean and inspect all mounting areas. We'll start at the bracket off of the engine. Double check to make sure it's clean and not rotted, weak in any way. Moving along, the body area. 3 mounting ports here, just a quick wipe, close inspection. Now we can install our brand new passenger side engine mount. Let's get this in position. Start bringing it down. Flex our AC lines, slide it over our stud on the engine bracket. Rest it in place. At this point, we need to start in all pieces of mounting hardware along the top here. Let's go with our mounting bolt, through the mount, into the bracket. 17mm mounting nut, goes right on the stud here. 3 14mm headed mounting bolts leading into the body. For this forward one, I'm using a magnet to get it in place. Now we'll start snugging the mounting hardware. I'm starting with the 3 14mm bolts first. Once those are snug, I'm going to torque them to 38 foot-pounds. Now up along the top, the 2 17mm pieces of hardware. Once you have those snug, torque them to 70 foot-pounds. Now that we have the upper hardware torqued, let's make sure that we re-secure our AC lines. We'll line this clip up, press it into the bracket. Make our way to the forward bracket with our 10mm headed mounting bolt. Everything's tight up top. Remove support from underneath your engine oil pan, and then we'll make our way back inside the passenger side wheel well for our final piece of mounting hardware. We'll install the mounting nut directly onto a 14mm socket, long extension. We can start this on by hand. Now that we have it started on, let's bottom it out. All right, I have that bottomed out. Now I'm going to torque it to 38 foot-pounds. One last quick inspection in this area, and we can reinstall our plastic panel. Let's get our plastic panel in place. We're going to start with our 2 10mm mounting bolts. Go ahead and start those in. We'll leave those loose so we can make any adjustment to our panel as necessary. Plastic push clip on the far corner there. Just line up your port, slide that in, lock it in by driving in the center. Once you have that in place, continue on to tightening those 2 10mm bolts. Double check to make sure that's secured in place. Now we can get the wheel on here. Once you have the wheel in place, start on all 5 of your 21mm lug nuts and we'll bottom them out. We'll get the wheels back on the ground and we can torque these lug nuts to 76 foot-pounds. Now that we have the wheel safely on the ground, let's torque each one of our 21mm lug nuts to 76 foot-pounds. Torqued. Okay, friend, we finished the installation of our passenger side engine mount. The next thing we want to do is test the functionality by starting the vehicle, and you're going to run it through each one of the gears with your foot on the brake. We want to make sure you don't hear any odd noises coming from inside the engine compartment. After that, you're sure it's good, close the hood, take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.